Hi, I'm host Eric, host Talking with Famous People, and I am here with a few hardy souls. The hardiest of souls, because this meeting started 3 a.m. Pacific time, which is probably the worst possible time you could start one. And after Friday night, too, everybody went to bed already. They're drunk from going out and stuff, because that's what normally a lot of people do on Fridays. Not obviously all people, but some people do. And so 3 a.m. is probably not the best time on a Saturday morning to host it. Regardless, these hardy souls are here, and instead of yammering on about that, let me talk about the topic, which is about objects having maintenance costs. The thing that we tend to forget is that every time we keep an object around, it has a maintenance cost. It's not just something that's going to sit there and be an object. It's something we're going to pick up again at some point and go, what the fuck should I do with this? I have to make a decision about it. It's going to bug us. And it's going to require some more attention. And it probably won't resolve really easily. It's not going to be like, oh, good, I know exactly where this goes. It's like, I've not known where this has gone the last 50 times I've looked at it. So that's why it's a good idea to throw shit away whenever you can. Because it's expensive keeping objects in terms of little maintenance tasks, organizational tasks, rearrangings, tripping over shit, just things being tangled, fucking space object problems, you know? So that's my first thoughts on object maintenance costs, and I think people don't think about it in those terms, but I think if we did, we'd be more likely to throw things away. Thoughts?
Too busy having an emoticon battle. I missed most of that.
I noticed some that
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Are those faces? Because they don't look like. Are they supposed to be representing some kind of face, or just random shit?
Well, Kit Kat's making something. I don't know what that's turning into.
Okay.
It looks like a little. It almost looks like a little walrus guy. It's got a big old nose.
It's okay, host Eric. I was listening to what you were saying.
Yeah, Dada's got it.
Okay. Well, you want to have you got comments? I'll recap real quick for Ken. It's basically that objects have a maintenance cost. We don't tend to think about that. And the reason they have maintenance costs because once you have something and you don't really need it, you're going to have to pick it up again and put it someplace again when you organize again, or you're going to have to decide about it. Like, should I throw this away or should I put it back in this drawer? And every little action like that with an object is a cost upon you. So that was my initial foray into this topic of SI-related object hoarderiness and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really need to adopt my INTP friend's way of doing things, which is just not having things. He just doesn't accumulate a lot of stuff. He's got like a computer and a TV and a bed. That's pretty much it. That's more or less what he's got going on. He's a decent minimalist. I got different stuff around where we finally cleared out our garage, and there's still just a ton of stuff that we decided, well, no, we might need that for some vague thing further down the road, and then it stays and it never gets used. We got like this back stretcher thing that you sit in and you tip backwards and you basically hang upside down. We haven't used it in this decade, but it's still there because maybe one day.
There's so many things you could use that for. You just don't know. Like, yeah, I know all about you. You and I have the same problem, but this is an example that happened earlier tonight. I was doing the dishes, and Delilah got some dishes at like a yard sale that her friend was having. She just bought dishes because there was something to buy, or I don't know. And I didn't like having these new dishes because I had thrown away a bunch of other dishes. I want to have as few dishes as possible so the sink can't get full, you know? My goal is to not let the sink get full of dishes by not having enough dishes to fill up the sink. If we only have 2 plates, that's all we need. 2 plates. So anyway, I was gonna throw these extra plates away, but they're like old lady plates, so they're kind of like pinkish, mauvish. I don't know. They're like this kind of color. But
Are they whimsy though?
yeah, they're full of whimsy. And I thought, okay, well, actually, I don't want to throw these away because I could break them into little pieces and make a mosaic out of them. That's why I didn't throw them away. Now, that's fucking stupid because a mosaic would take a long time. But then I thought, what? You know what? It does sound fun. I might do that someday. I shouldn't throw these away quite yet. I can always throw them away later. That's what happens, right?
Yeah, I think my garage would be like an ENTP heaven because it's just random, seemingly disparate stuff that I think you'd be like, oh, I could use that for this and this
We
for
need to
that.
combine our stuff. Is what we need to do. So then we can make some real serious shit. Because I've got some cool stuff. I'm gonna show you something right now.
Yeah, but host Eric, that would actually require you to actually using this.
Mr. can't hear you. He's too busy being in the whimsy.
Of course, I speak up, and it's too late.
See,
Oh, yeah, it's one of those.
What?
this thing.
Is that from a car? Or wait, what is that?
That thing was a giant paper cutter. It had a rotten part for the where you put the paper, the platform part, right? But I just couldn't throw this away, the choppy part. I was like, well, I my NE can't. It's pretty good, but it's having trouble coming up with any actual use that you're going to end up using this thing for. You don't need
Murder weapon.
Yeah, I just can't think of any possible real way I could use this, but it's just such a big ass fucking metal thing. I just don't want to throw it away. And if I did want to make another big giant paper cutter, well, I mean that's the hard part to get, right? It's easy to get a board.
Here's the deal. You use all the other stuff in your garage. You build a robot with very good AI. You give him the paper cutter thing, and he becomes a guardian for your house. And he just patrols around with a giant.
Or
paper
he
cutter.
could cut
Or
paper cut for me. He could
maybe.
cut paper.
You could start a paper cutting business.
We could.
You know,
Bring your papers here to be cut.
just send us those excess rolls of paper y'all got, and just we'll chop them for you.
Hi, yeah, could you cut this paper in half, please? Yeah, that'll be $5. Ooh, it's getting expensive here at the paper cutters. So I can't click the link, and while I'm recording it, it's too much work for my computer. But now that I have the second computer out here, once it gets set up properly, I'll be able to roll a little bit more efficiently. I have to move myself again. This is the kind of shit that happens, right? This is why you have to rearrange your whole space again. Well, this space was perfect. I got it really set up nice for one computer, right? But then I realized, well, this thing doesn't work with that thing. And so now I gotta get the second computer. And I gotta sort of Frankenstein that out of some other shit, you know?
How
And-
much?
Yeah.
How much stuff do you have in your garage that could be put outside? Like not stuff that's like would be damaged by rain or whatnot.
Most of the stuff that it would not be damaged by rain is already outside or thrown away.
All right. I was gonna say you could always add an expansion or something onto your garage. Just make it bigger.
No, I mean, this arrangement is the best it's ever been. It's pretty roomy right now. I've got more room than I usually ever have. All I'm gonna need to do here is, well, see, I mean, I don't know. I've got some choices. See, there's this other computer right there on that little table over there, right? And I've got the piano and the amps right there. And then the guitar can hang from there if it were on there right now, which it's not. And then the other music stuff's over there, and the drums are right there. This thing I brought in today just briefly for Abraham to sit at because we were working here today. But I need to coordinate it so the computers are within reach of each other. Right now it's over there. I was envisioning having them be like one of them for recording music, one of them for GoToMeeting, but I realized I really need them both right here. I really need to just redo the whole setup now. The thing, I can't fit that into this system here, the setup. That's what I hate about space objects. There's no architectural flexibility to any system you have for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of seeing what you're talking about now with the NE type stuff, because I have one working computer, but I have pieces and bits from, I think, 2 or 3 other computers that I refuse to get rid of because I'm like, one day I'll get some sort of setup going and it'll be beautiful and it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Yes, both to JMOT and to Ken. But the system will never come. And here's why. Because space objects can't be compacted like time objects can. It can't be modulared out. It's like you can't have an app in your garage that handles all of your whatever for you. Like what ideal would be, you walk in your garage, there'd be some circles on the wall, right? And one circle would be like hand tools. And so you just throw your hand tool at that circle. It hits the circle, and then it puts it in the hand tool section where it's supposed to go, right? And then another section would be like boxes full of little cool things. I've got so many boxes full of little cool things. But, it's not really the most useful thing to have, to be perfectly honest, even though it would seem like it should be. Like, here's a random box of little cool things right near me. I've got sunglasses. I got a knife in here.
When I was younger, I used to do that with Legos and like Bionicle pieces, and it ended up driving me nuts to try to look for a single thing.
This thing
It just wouldn't work.
Like, this is an example of something that I don't even know what it is. But
Can you put it in front of the camera?
yeah, it's like a, I don't know what it is. I don't know what
Can
to tell
I
you.
see the end of it? Okay, yeah, I don't. I think maybe that goes to the. I don't know about the end, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of a manual drill. I got one that I got from my grandfather. Yeah, it could be a bit.
Easy lap. Easy lap. Diamond. Something. I don't know. Oh, my eyes are going. Like, it's not going bad, but they're. I do that old man thing where you hold things far away from you. Some guitar picks in this box. But this is the coolest thing in this box. This old tape measure. So that's what I'm encumbered with. I've got shitloads of boxes like that full of little cool things. You can't get rid of this. Now, you could get rid of the big stuffed pink flamingos, but there's no way you can get rid of this because this is so cool.
Could you though? The flamingo's too whimsy. Flamingo is like next to the unicorn. I think the flamingo is the next in line for being the whimsy animal.
See, I think you're maybe making a mistake between whimsy and fanciful.
Yeah, I don't consider that.
I'll agree with you that a flamingo is pretty fanciful. Whimsical? I'm not so sure.
I'm right about the unicorn, though. That's just hands down that's whimsical.
Nobody's disputing the unicorn's whimsy. Okay,
Okay.
that's like talking trash to Eminem in a battle rap or something.
Just don't go there.
Mm. Okay, so we sort of talked about that a little bit. Yes, we want to see your flamingo. I want to see your flamingo. This will help also because I think while I'm winning the point, the data will resolve it. I could be totally wrong. I could look at it. It could be whimsical. Now I'm worried. I didn't know I had a chance to actually have this thing adjudicated. I just threw out fanciful, feeling like a big tough guy, not even knowing if it's fanciful. Are you going to show it to us? Or are you just teasing us? Oh. Well, too bad. Now that I've gotten your hopes up to see this flamingo,
You
I'm
should
not going to show you.
You should gather up all the little bits that you have in your garage, Eric. Put them into a trench coat. Go into back alleys and say, "Hey kids, you want to buy some whimsy?" Just open it up. And be like, "Look at this here. You're not going to find this in a flea market."
But listen, those little cool things are not necessarily whimsical, all right? I don't have a shitload of whimsy. I have some whimsy. I have some. I'll admit I'm a little.
The whimsy I got, I'm keeping.
Yeah, I got a lot of whimsy to spare. Now, do I think marsupials are whimsical? Well, some of them. I mean, not from inside the pouch.
This is Felipe.
That's not a flamingo. That's a dodo.
I don't see anything.
Ditto.
There's no picture.
Picture? This is the oversized flamingo that I definitely needed.
Oh, there's a picture. Can I see the flamingo?
And this is also tape measure I was talking about.
Now that's whimsy.
That's whimsy. That's
No.
whimsy.
Wait. Where's his tail? There we go.
You see, you've not just measured distance, you've engaged in some whimsy right there when you've used that. But I want to see the flamingo. I'm trying to still make the determination if it's fanciful or whimsical.
Oh. Well, usually I dress him in like hats and stuff. I don't feel like it's my hat.
Well, I want to know his true basic nature. Is it a fanciful creature or whimsical?
We're calculating for base whimsy. We're not.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Base Wednesday.
What are you
Usually
thinking,
it's just
Ken?
lopsided.
If it were upright, would it? I think uprightness includes more fancifulness, and the floppy neck would tend to suggest a little bit more whimsy, maybe. Well, with that sitting position, she's putting stuff on your side of the scale. Obviously, if you sit it like that, it's going to be more whimsical. Sit it in a regal fashion so that it looks fanciful. That's how you increase your fancifulness. Increase your regality.
Getting whimsier by the second.
See, I'm not so sure with the cabaret element. Now I'm thinking maybe there's a little bit. We're trying to get a little bit more fanciful.
I don't know if it's
Where is it
fanciful
now?
though. I don't know if it's fanciful. We're definitely getting somewhere, but I think we're moving into a new uncharted territory here.
Is it coquettish? It might be. It might be coquettish. Could be lugubrious. It's hard to say. Regardless, that's a wonderful flamingo. Thank you for showing us, Kit Kats. What is it? Did we have a topic for this video? I don't even remember.
The maintenance of space objects.
Oh yeah. So are you happy with that space object? You don't want to throw that one away, Kit Kats?
No, I got rid of all my other space objects so I can afford this one.
That one? That's an expensive
Yep.
expensive bit of whimsy you got there.
I got it at my job, so I got it on sale, and it was also on sale on top of that sale, so it didn't cost me that much. Usually how I buy things. Things on sale.
That's a good way to buy things. I'd like to be more attentive to that sort of stuff too.
And then when I want to buy stuff, I usually pick things up, and then when I go up to the cash register, I think about it a lot, and it'd be on scale of which one I like the most and the least. And then usually I put it back, most of the things.
I see. What sort of things are you tempted to buy? Can you put turn it towards you?
Turtle. This turtle was something I instantly had to buy.
Where
what
did they
else?
sell that? Was that like at a craft store or something?
Yeah, I was at this restaurant that had a gift shop in it. So I got it from the gift shop. Let me get...
A restaurant gift shop had a macrame turtle tape measure. There's the mandolin.
Did the place happen to be called the Whimsy Cafe? Because this sounds like a pretty
I would make
magical-
him hold this, but I'm afraid my mandolin will fall. I bought this. What else?
Did you try? Tell me about your instrument buying process. I'd like to hear about how picky you are about gear, or not picky.
I kind of just bought this as like a, not cheapest, but like the most nice, cheap, mid-range price looking mandolin, because it was just like a start thing. So I wanted to know how I like the instrument, not a really nice one. And then I also got this. Oh my god.
Those things are rad. I want to have one of those things too. Those are
Right.
rad because you
I
can
want-
do all
I wanna
kinds
get
of
a
cool
better
shit
one.
with that.
I want to get a bigger glockenspiel with sharps and flats in it.
Is that what that's called? A glockenspiel?
Yeah.
Huh. But since the flamingo is not doing much talking, can you turn the camera towards you?
Yeah.
So, do you play other instruments besides those two?
I used to mainly play piano before when I was in high school, and then I quit for a bit with the lessons, and then I kind of got into guitar, and then lately I'm kind of busy with school, and then I was like trying to find a job because I never worked when I was 16 and I was 18, and then I kind of somehow got myself into 2 jobs, and then later going to school with 2 jobs, and I kind of got distracted all that work stuff. But I'm planning on getting back into guitar and maybe piano.
So, do you sing when you play the guitar?
Not really. I kind of sing exclusively from instruments. I don't really sing because my walls are like not that soundproof.
Interesting. Do you sing though independently of the instruments, or do you sometimes just sing?
I sometimes sing, but I could sing with instruments also. I usually don't like singing around like my family or something. I get shy.
Do you feel as though you're more comfortable on an instrument other than the voice in terms of finding where you're going?
I'm more comfortable with like, I'd say piano, because after a while I kind of get in this like rump. If I'm like with people, I feel like I'm too boring to them because I'm just kind of messing around and trying to find stuff. I usually have more fun exploring like new instruments because it's like new and novel to me. You know, trying to figure it out and all that. Like, oh, I also have like a harmonica somewhere around here too. But like, yeah, whenever I go to someone's house, I touch their instruments, or I'm like, can I play it? I'm just like eyeing it from the corner, contently.
That's the first instrument I actually ever learned to play was harmonica. I started the first instrument I got lessons on was piano. We had a piano at my house, but I hated it so much, and I insisted that I quit them. And I was in a boys' choir, and I sang.
I was in chorus too.
Yeah, so that was my first real musical stuff, and then the first actual instrument I played though was harmonica when I was like maybe 17 or 18. I didn't start playing the guitar until I was like 20 years old. That was the
Yeah.
first real instrument I played.
How do you guys do with self-consciousness when you're singing? Like,
Mm.
can you just belt it out and it doesn't really matter who's listening, or?
Well, when I was younger, I was like really, really, really shy. Like, I had like an Asian family, so before we used to have like karaoke parties on Fridays or something like that. And when I was younger, I had no problem singing in front of people, and for some reason, I went to a stage where I didn't really want to sing too much. And then I started getting out of my shell more and doing it. I'm a little more comfortable around other people. But I have like, I don't know what her type is. I have a coworker friend that she's like a professional opera singer or something like that. She's like in her teens or something, but during work, if a song's playing on, she'll just start singing it like spontaneously. I can't really do that so much. I have to be in like, I guess, a more appropriate setting.
She's an extrovert.
Yeah. She just starts
Yeah.
spontaneously singing.
I don't have that issue particularly in general of being nervous, but that's for a couple of reasons. One, I've performed a lot with the guitar in a variety of capacities. Like, I've played for kids at school. You know, I played for Canada. I played for different age groups in schools, elementary usually or preschool. I played for special ed kids, you know, in work capacities, and then of course I've been in bands and stuff too. But the main reason I feel comfortable playing and singing now is because I feel like I'm I know how to read that. Like if it's a situation where it is appropriate to, like, there's some sort of a party, there's guitars and like, yeah, let's play some songs. I'll know how long to perform for, like how long to hold the spotlight, like for a couple songs maybe. And I'll know how to read all that shit now. I didn't used to be able to read all that shit very well.
Yeah.
Also, I don't feel like I'm too trained enough to like perform because I don't ever really memorize like entire songs. I kind of just improv stuff and I never remember it.
Yeah,
Gotta
I do
record
a
that
lot of
shit.
that.
You guys gotta record that shit. That's
I
your
used
soul just going into the void. Don't
Yeah, no, I
used to.
used to.
You've
I lost
got many
recordings.
decades ahead of you. You want to have it gradually accrue over time.
Yeah, I know. I have that with like, stories and writing and stuff. I have all my papers saved in this
Don't
giant
lose them.
binder. No. Same with drawings too. I have this this huge stack of drawings I have. I first found it, we had drawings when I was like in kindergarten, and it was really funny examining how my drawings were back then. It's like smile faces and rainbows and like happy faces on everything.
Well, you were emoting.
Yeah.
You young people are. What I'm most jealous of the young of is their potentiality, right? To build their identity. They have all this. Like, to me, I think, okay, you're probably 20 years younger than me. Probably 22 years younger than me, something like that, I would guess. And you have available all these places to put shit, right? That's the thing that's so weird about the way things used to be, is there weren't places to put shit before the internet. They're just you
Have it stored in a cabin locked in the woods.
you try to publish a book by sending it to a publisher, and if they give you, you might, after many years of struggle, get somebody to finally say, yes, you may have an audience now. That's how it used to be. But now whether for an audience or not, there's all these tools to facilitate you keeping track of your shit, archiving all your stuff and your identity. And I really want the computer to tell me, like, Eric, here's your identity update for the day. Remember, this is your personal life history. These are important events that have occurred to you. But not like Facebook does it, but as a whole linear time thing that focuses not so much on the present, but as a whole picture. and shows like evolving identity storylines and stuff or something.
We should build an app or something like that, some kind of program.
Yeah, all I need to do is find somebody who knows how to program.
I have a cousin that's in computer programming, but she's still in school.
Yeah, that's just
And
those people are in super high demand, programmers.
I know. I'm waiting for her to graduate so I can like just at a family gathering. Hey, cuz I got this idea here. Just slip a paper of things. Can you help me with this?
These squares are computer programming code, and these circles are what it's supposed to do. This is like my kind of plans, right? You'll fill out the details. Okay, let me stop this video. Let's do one more real quick one about futures. You guys are young people by and large. I would like to hear you guys, if you're willing to, talk about what you see for your futures and stuff like that for a little bit.